Hello, this is Joe from MIGeekScene.
Awkward pause, but we're still gonna go with it.
I'm just kidding.
No. You don't get to back out of this one. This is Joe from MIGeekScene with Krystal LaPorte at MEGGAXP. How are you doing today?
That's what you said it started with. I'm doing fine. My Joe or Krystal?
You could be whoever you want
I'm
nowadays.
gonna be Krystal. I'm not very. I didn't practice my Joe voice.
Oh. Well, it's just really nasally.
Yeah. Okay.
I meant seriously. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Is this your first time to Michigan?
No, it is not.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apparently didn't do enough research.
No, my dad actually used to have a cabin in Michigan, so we would come up to go hunting every year, and then I had been to 3 Yomicons.
Okay, yes, I've only been to one. I'll be to my second one this year.
Very cool.
Well, for those who don't know, Krystal is a voice actress. Please elaborate on some of the shows that you've been a part of.
I've been a part of, and now I'm just trying to remember the bio for this convention. Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, Parasyte, Akame Got Kill, Beyond the Boundary, Muv-Luv Alternative Total Eclipse, Nobunaga the Fool, The Ambition of Oda Nobunaga, did I say Tamako Market?
We'll go with that.
Okay.
But you did say Total Eclipse, and whenever I hear that, I think of Total Eclipse of the Heart.
I do too. Which one? The one by Klaus Nomi, or the one
Was it Bonnie?
Bonnie? It's not Bonnie Tyler, is it?
I want to say it's Bonnie Tyler.
Okay, then it is Bonnie Tyler. I thought it was Bonnie Tyler. So Bonnie Tyler or Klaus Nomi?
I guess I haven't heard the other version because yes, you can look at me that way. That's fine.
No,
but I love when she threw in because everything is wonderful and magical in the lyrics, and I was like, I never knew that was in there, and that's so great.
I'll have to show you the Klaus Nomi one afterwards. He's awesome.
So wait, was he the originator or was she?
No, he did a lot of covers.
Okay.
He was an opera. He could sing soprano, and have you ever seen that? He's a man who sings in a triangular tuxedo.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you later. I don't know how to explain it than just handing you a video and saying, have fun.
Look at this triangle.
Look at this.
It's amazing.
Look at this majestic triangle.
But since you are a voice actress, what was your first exposure to anime? Not as a voice actor, but as a fan. Or just a person like, wow, this is anime?
My first exposure to anime was my friend Patrick. We were in 1st grade, and we were riding the bus home, and he had 2 action figures, a Vegeta and a Trunks. And he was all like, you want to play action figures? And I was like, heck yes, I want to play action figures. So we were like, rawr, and I'm like, what do they do? And he's like, this is what they do. And I'm like, oh, so, and we just kept fighting with them. And so I was Trunks, and I was like, bam! And I totally won because my Trunks knocked his Vegeta out of his hand, out of the school bus window, and onto the side of the road. So and then we drove away crying for the loss of the person I didn't know, Vegeta.
So like a typical Dragon Ball Z punch.
Yeah, pretty much. And so thankfully, I didn't live that far from the school, so when we got home, I got right on my bike, and I biked all the way back to right by the school and looked for Vegeta on the side of the road, and I found Vegeta in a creek. And it wasn't really like a creek. It was like, you know how sometimes when there's like a ditch and there's like water, it's not quite a creek, but it leads to one. So I found him there using some rocks and water, cleaned him off. Then I biked all the way back to Patrick's house, and he was like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, I found Vegeta! And he was like, yeah, do you want to see what the show he's from is? And I'm like, yeah! And so then he had a VHS of it was the VHS with Trunks in the time capsule,
You can't use terms like VHS nowadays. People won't understand.
I'm old.
Yeah, so am I.
So we watched 3 episodes on a VHS because that's all it came with.
That's nice. Do you remember what episodes?
It was from the Future Trunks saga.
Okay, yes.
So then when I was like, okay, well, Dragon Ball Z, this is what Dragon Ball Z is, and I think this is my life now. Yeah, it is. So I waited on TV for the next time for it to show up in the TV guide. Can't say that either, can I?
Yeah, actually, now you can't really, now that I think about it. I thought about that the other day. It's like, I haven't seen a TV guide in so long.
At that time, it was on at like 11 p.m. or something ridiculous, Toonami. And then I saw the episode where Frieza cuts himself into bits using his Destructo disc things. And then I'm like, yeah, this is my life now.
Well, let's put it this way. When I was younger, I used to get up at 5 in the morning to watch Sailor Moon at 5:30. Yeah, I was that guy. Hey, Meatball Head was awesome.
Do you remember that we used to have to like adjust our lives according to when a show was going to be on?
Oh, yes. Yes, and I also used to watch Ronin Warriors in the morning, too.
Oh, wow.
The sad thing about that is I got close to the end of that series, but I've never watched the very last episode. First time, I don't know what happened. I ended up missing it. Second time, my old man, who wanted me to play football, took me away to go do physical, and I haven't forgiven you for that since. But nonetheless, I'm not kidding. But back to the interview.
Okay.
I know, awkward pause. No. I kid, folks. I kid. Well, since you are a fan of DBZ, a huge fan, have you met any of the voice actors from that show?
Yeah. Trying to think. It almost would be easier to say who I haven't met.
Okay. How's your interactions been with them then, should I say?
Look, all the ones I've met have been absolutely amazing. Sabat,
Good dude.
Sabat, Justin Cook, Sean Schemmel, Ian Sinclair. They're wonderful people. Brina Palencia, Monica Real from Kai. Just amazing, wonderful, perfect people. Chris Ayers is I don't like him very much.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
This isn't TMZ.
No. Like, he is the worst person I've ever met.
Frieza?
Yeah, Frieza.
Okay.
Like, I can't even. And you know what the worst part is that, like, he's like this tall on me. So he's actually Frieza size. So every time I see him, I'm like, I could take him. I could punt him. He would be gone. I hate him.
As long as he doesn't turn into gold form.
No, he can't.
Okay.
'Cause he's Chris Ayers, because he's awful.
All right. You also used to do cosplay back in the day.
Yes, I did.
Favorite characters to cosplay?
Trying to think.
Besides Lord Frieza.
That was possibly my favorite one to make, because that one, it was foam, it was easy, but it was so detailed that it was one of those ones where I could just come home, pour a drink once I was over 21, and just work on it. But because it was fairly easy, it was really that last, like, it was therapeutic, it was fun, and then when it all came together, I was super happy. In terms of favorites, I felt like that one was my favorite to make. I felt like I looked my best in Mara Kakato from Bodacious Space Pirates. It was like pink hair and a pirate outfit and had a hat and everything. Then my favorite one to wear was definitely Jessie from Team Rocket. And I can't wear it anymore, but I did the whole wig, and it actually went out. It was like 7 pounds because the fronts were lead fishing weight so that
That's
it stayed
insane.
balanced. It had a steel cage covered in paper mache and felt, and 2 wigs went into it, and it was just so awesome wearing it because little kids knew who they were. So all these little kids would be like, "Don't take my Pokemon," and I'm like, "I'm gonna take that Pokemon," and I'm like, "Don't take my Pokemon," and I'm gonna take that, and it was. I like kids.
Awesome. What got you into cosplay?
My friend Erin. I was 15 years old, and she was like, "Hey, do you like anime?" I'm like, "What's anime? Do you watch Dragon Ball Z, Krystal? I thought that was like what your room is papered in." "Yeah, I watch Dragon Ball Z. That's anime." "Yeah, I like anime." So she's like, "Cool. So it's gonna be my 16th birthday, and because 16 is really, or maybe it's 15th. It was one of those. No, it was her 15th birthday because since 15 was when Kagome fell into the well in Inuyasha, she wanted to fall into the well and start anime conventioning. So she was taking herself, her family, and 2 friends to Anime Central in Chicago, and the 2 friends were me and one of my best friends, Gwen. And then I went to Anime Central, and we all decided to watch a new show and make a new cosplay and work up on it all year and then go. And all of our cosplays were awful, and it was worth it.
What? awful.
Yeah, we were 15.
Yeah,
and
but if you take the time to dress up, you should have fun.
it was so much fun. I still have the pictures though, and it was just 15-year-olds, and we had the really frizzy spirit wigs.
That would be awesome to see that.
I think it's at my mom's house in Illinois.
Okay.
But
yeah, I'll be sure to drive down there.
No, eventually someday I will find that. I was Lucy from Elfenlied, and I didn't know how to make anything. So like the horns were paper mache, but they were misshapen like tennis ball shaped things.
But people got to start somewhere.
The wig was a curly spirit Halloween store wig, and the socks, they were supposed to be striped. But I was 15, didn't have a credit card, couldn't buy online, couldn't find stripes, so I just bought white socks and spray painted them. And I didn't have a stencil, so it's just like messy. But it was the most fun that I'd had in possibly my life, so I just kept doing it.
Okay. Folks, a brief interlude in this interview. We're at a secluded location away from the rest of the con, and I'd like to point out, even though you can't see it, there's a very dark Silent Hill type hall down the road or down the hallway, and there's periodic screams coming out, which somehow leads to my next segue. You are a big fan of horror movies.
Yes, I am.
What sort of horror movies do you like?
Once again, it's probably a lot easier to ask what I don't like, which, as you told me, and which wasn't very impressive, the only ones I don't like are...
I've never done any research on somebody.
You know what? You'd be like the only person I'm all right with having as a stalker because at least you're thorough.
Oh my goodness. I'm not a stalker. My girlfriend would beat me so bad. And she'll know. She knows already right now. She's not even here, and
Is she in the hallway?
It would be so messed up if she was coming down the hallway.
Like a bobblehead nurse.
I'm like, oh no. Hi. I'm just doing an interview. Don't beat me yet.
The only ones that I'm not like super into, and there are still ones I've seen where I'm like, that was awesome, are like the torture porn where there's not really a plot. It's just some big guy silently torturing all of these kids. And I used to be okay with that, but like now I'm just like, now because there's no plot for me to follow, I start making up plot that doesn't exist. And I'm like, and because all of it is nothing but screaming and them getting tortured, I spend it thinking, they had a family. Who's gonna feed their cats? They're never gonna get into college.
Never even thought about that.
So,
never ever to cosplay again.
I know. What happened if that was me? I know my friends would leave me behind. Now I'm sad.
It wouldn't work out for me.
No,
I'd probably be one of the first to go. But I wouldn't put myself in that situation either.
If there was a haunted house or like the big scary house, I mean, you got to explore it.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Okay.
Like I said, I'd be the first to go.
Yeah. Oh, we should split up. It'll be safer that way.
Well, I don't know, because maybe I'd be the second or third, because the first to go, like at least the first girl to go, can never run. It's always like, ah. And I'm pretty sure she tries to do that so she loses a shoe, because that always happens. So I know how to walk and run, so I might be like the third.
I'm power walking my way out of this haunted house. It's so random. There's someone that's power walking like in a horror film. Like, you are not going to get me, sir. You are not.
Stuff. No, you could do a zombie film where they're all power walking away because the zombies are slow.
Oh, I thought you meant like the zombies are power walking. They can't quite walk and they can't quite run, but they will power walk and eat you.
Oh no, I'd be like, how would that work?
I don't know, but I can't do power walking for the sake of this interview. It would be wonderful. All right, so do you have any favorite horror movies?
My favorite franchise of all time is always gonna be Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
Do you want like new, old genre?
No, it's just one or two titles that come to mind.
I could always watch Nightmare on Elm Street, all of them except number 2, over and over again. And lately, I've really liked the Insidious franchise. They've just been good.
Now, I know you said you don't like gory films. Mm-hmm. Like, What about over the top and campy, like gory films?
Those ones, I feel like the
Like
camp.
B movies.
I love B movies. I feel like the camp is a plot element almost, and usually the plots are so ridiculous it's something to hold on to.
Have you, all right, I have to ask this. Have you, impromptu question?
Oh God.
I know.
What
Have
is
you
Story
checked out,
Cruise?
yes. Have you ever checked out Riki-Oh, the story of Riki?
No.
It is a gory kung fu film. It's more like his fists going through people.
That sounds kind of
Yes.
like my thing.
Oh, it's awesome. Like he learned his kung fu skills in one day, training with his uncle in a graveyard, and his uncle was throwing tombstones at him.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Oh yes, it was a manga first, but then it was turned into a movie. I would highly recommend it. And another movie, Machine Girl.
Yes, I've seen Machine Girl. I have a recommendation for you now.
Ooh.
Actually, for the fans, Tokyo Zombie.
I have heard of that.
It is phenomenal. It is just.
I just love.
Tokyo
I love.
Zombie.
I love B movies.
I love B movies too.
Robo Geisha, not so bad.
Geisha.
Not as good as Machine Girl, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Do you watch J horror? Or just
I've
more?
seen a few things. I'm not really a horror person myself.
It wouldn't say horror, but have you seen Battle Royale?
I have.
Okay, I like Battle Royale.
I haven't seen the second one. I know a lot of people have seen it like recently when it was called The Hunger Games, but yes, I did enjoy Battle Royale when it came out originally.
I love Battle Royale. The second one, I was not as huge a fan of it.
The whole vibe just changed.
The vibe completely changed. I feel like it lost a lot of the magic of the first one because the first one did a really good job of humanizing everyone, and you felt bad for them. And it was a thriller. It was action, but it was also a tragedy. And then with the second one, they didn't work on the characters nearly as much, but I was happy to see that if you are interested in watching it, it does tie up some loose ends from the first one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even bother to make it through the second one. It was just like,
It waits until the very end to do it, but it made me feel
oh,
much
I guess
better.
I'll just fast forward to the end. I still have it at home, just haven't watched it. Speaking of horror, have you read any horror manga titles by Junji Ito?
Yeah, I did. I love Junji Ito so much. I've read all of Uzumaki. I've read all of Tomie. Go, which is, have you read Go?
I've not. I've read Uzumaki, and I've read like a horror compilation that he's done. You know, like there was a one with this lady that went into a house, and like she was totally in love with the house and moved in with these folks, and then she ended up becoming like attached to the house and stuff.
I think they had. I don't know if that. I don't know if he's done multiple compilations. At my undergrad university, they had some Junji Ito manga, and like, if I didn't believe in the sanctity of libraries, I totally would have snatched it. But I do. I believe in the sanctity of libraries. But it was a compilation. I didn't finish it because I had to turn it in because it was like a 3-day rental. Manga went fast. You had to get it done.
3 days? Well, that's enough time to read a manga.
It should be. I was just slow, and I don't remember why. I might have had an assignment or something. But it involved the one with the hole where everyone like. It was there were all these cracks in a cliff that were shaped like people, and all these people started getting drawn to them and going.
That seems
in them
vaguely familiar.
and not coming out. There was one about like a father disappeared in a house, and they were trying to find the father.
His stuff is so messed up.
The revenge of a guy who was bullied by a girl. I mean, it was a lot of it. It's just so good.
Like Uzumaki, the guy that just wanted everything in a perfect coil. He somehow managed to make his tongue that way, and then he ended up passing away. But it was just, for those who have not checked that out, like, Junji Ito has some excellent horror titles. I'm not a big horror fan, but like his manga, that stuff's like legit creepy.
You know what it is? Okay, do you remember, I think his name was either Alan or Alvin Schwartz's More Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
It was an American book compilation, and it was the illustrations that made everything terrifying. And
Oh, you mean like Goosebumps? No, I'm kidding.
You know what? No, it was for younger readers. And it was compilations of urban legends, folk horror that really were not super terrifying, but then each story was accompanied by the most just messed up, images that it gave me nightmares. I actually had a copy. We had actually, and in my basement, we had a ceiling much like this. I wanted to forget about that book, so I pushed up one of the tiles and hid it in there. So somewhere in Sleepy Hollow, Illinois, there is a copy of More Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark in a basement ceiling, and the family doesn't know.